Hello there, my name is Azleon, and today I will be talking about Hugo from ZZZ. Again, this is my third time doing it, although this is the only time after we actually have content on him. There will be spoilers for the epilogue quest. I forgot what it was called. It's the story bit that came out in 1.6, and it's Hugo's first appearance in the story. So be warned about that. Normally I don't really give too many spoiler warnings, and frankly, it's fairly late in the quest, so I'm pretty sure most people have done it by now, but there's a chance some people haven't. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that happened. Oh my gosh, so much stuff happened. Let's just start off. I absolutely adore Hugo. He was great. I loved him. I want more. I want to know more about what happened. Now, for the people who are... none of us really believe he's dead, right? Because I don't think he's dead. We've got a couple of options. There's a few things that could be why he's not dead. He could actually be a vampire, for one. And for two, there's like this medical condition that has your heart on the opposite side. So Lycan could have just been mistaken and didn't know about that. He would have still been pretty hurt, though. Also, if I was reading, what was it, the character thingy that came out for him, part of his drip, and there's literally a line that says, "I'm gonna come back like an avalanche," and I'm like, dude, thank you for just flat out telling us you're not dead. It would have been a fun little, he's probably not dead, but there's a slim, super duper slim chance that he might leave you dead. There's basically no chance with that line, man. Because I think it would have been really interesting if they left him dead, and they just let him be dead, and his story just tragically got cut right there. It would have been super interesting, but I don't think that's happening. I think it would have been great if they decided to actually do that. I think it would have been really interesting, especially with Lycan having taken him out. Because honestly, him being dead or not is way less interesting to me than Lycan having done the killing. Like, I got spoiled for his death before I played the quest, but man, Lycan killed him. Like, Lycan did it. I have no words. I am so interested to see how that affects Lycan, especially with all. Like, if we got this at the beginning of the quest, if this happened at the beginning of the quest, and we didn't know any of Lycan's past, or the vow he took, or all of the other things, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal. It would have been like, because one of our main characters killed, but it would have not been like, what in the world? Because we just had this whole build up to their whole spat and everything that happened, and part of it being because both of them were like, let's not kill, and Hugo eventually did kill, and gosh, it was so interesting when we got that backlash of Hugo's, where he was like, I hesitated once to kill my dad, and it killed other people, so the second time that opportunity came around, I did not. He tried. Because that is one thing that really interested me about Hugo's character, is that he tried to go along that path. He was clearly skeptical. I mean, we saw the backflashes with Jack and everything, but, like, he hesitated because his dad sucked. Big time. But he said, I hesitated that. And I'm like, wow. That is something. Like, he genuinely stopped for a moment because of everything there. The only reason he ended up with the mentality I think he has today, Hugo's such an interesting character, is because of the consequences of him not killing his father the first time, and then subsequently doing it. I will say, it's still fairly unclear what happened. I think Hugo went on a killing spree at his home Maybe, but he accused the other dude of killing his family, so I wonder if they had like some interpersonal conflict that killed a bunch of people. Hugo inevitably killed his dad, but his siblings were killed by the other dude. But Hugo also killed a bunch of other people, maybe while trying to kill his dad. I'm not sure. That was unclear, and I'm not too sure if it was supposed to be clear or not. I'm very interested to see what happens further down the line and to get more insight on his backstory. But the little backflash where he says he killed his sister, who's clearly very, very dear to him. Oh, man. I'm not very appreciative of Jack's whole thing. I was like, yeah, Jack, tell Lycan to help keep his friend in the light. No, Jack, what do you mean choke him? Jack, that might be going just a wee bit too far. Lycan, what did you do in killing him? Or at least killing him as far as you know. I personally think that was part of Hugo's plan, and I think that's probably the general consensus. I don't know if Lycan killing him was part of the plan. I'm on a slight debate on that. Because he did look surprised when Lycan did kill him. But I feel like he wanted to see if Lycan would if he threatened the proxy. Because I don't think he was actually going to kill him. I'm almost 100% sure that was a bluff. Like, he downstairs, he was like, take care of Vivian for me. And clearly, he doesn't want Vivian to get hurt. And he got what he wanted. So there was no reason to kill us at that point. So, like, I am almost positive that Hugo was bluffing when he said he was gonna kill us at the end of the quest. I'm basically certain about that. Because I'm like, he had no reason to. It would have hurt Vivian. It would have taken the support he asked for Vivian out of the equation. It would have traumatized Vivian. Well, all of this stuff has to do with Vivian, but he clearly deeply cares for Lester. Both of them stay in story. He's like, it was like that little sister of mine that I killed, but you don't know that. And I'm like, he clearly deeply regretted that whole murder thing that he doesn't talk about. I don't even know if Lycan knows he did that. Because I'm pretty sure the order of events happens is Hugo's born into the family. Hugo grows up in the family till, I'd say, 10, maybe? I don't know, I'm estimating a rough age for how old he was. And 10 is when he kills Serena, I believe that's her name. His sister. I think not long after that, so very possibly still 10, he runs away and he meets Lycan and Jack. I personally think Lycan and Jack were on the street and they met prior to that, or Jack picked up Lycan when he was a baby and raised him as the Quinlan. That's my personal headcanon for now. If I'm proved wrong, I'm proved wrong. 10, maybe he was on the streets for a year or so. Maybe he's not, but by like 11 or 12, he's definitely with Lycan and Jack, and he's being raised by Jack now with Lycan. I personally like to think they have a brotherly bond, and they're like siblings, and that's when this occurs. They're both being raised by Jack. Jack's taking care of them. He's mentoring them. Hugo doesn't agree with half of Jack's mentalities, a lot because of where he was raised before. I think everyone would have known he was from high society, because the way Vivian talks about his one red eye, it sounds like that's just like a genetic high society thing, because he has the two red eyes, and I think the pointy ears might also be? I'm not sure. It's unclear. We know Lycan has red eyes, and what I do find interesting is that, what was it? I think Hugo, oh gosh, I might be remembering it wrong. But I'm pretty sure Hugo says something along the lines of the incident where he betrayed Lycan. It's pretty clear that that's what happened. I know earlier in a previous video that I said I would have found it interesting if Lycan was the one who kind of betrayed the vow by doing it because, you know, it broke his moral code. Really, it was Hugo who just kind of did all the backstabbing. Lycan just decided to go with the mayor. Well, he did leave Mockingjay because of that, and man, that embittered Hugo a lot. But clearly the mayor had talked to him beforehand, because he already had the offer. So, like, I don't think the mayor cared about their criminal past too much. I think, just a short tangent about Victoria Housekeeping. Victoria Housekeeping was essentially founded by Lycan and picked up the others along the way. Either that or the mayor individually hired each of them. Not sure. I would love to learn more about the foundings of Victoria Housekeeping and how that all came about. Or if that was an organization Mayor had and then Lycan just got joined onto it. Anyway, side tangent over. Oh gosh, there's so much stuff that happened in that quest. It was all amazing. I'm like, what is... I'm excited for Hugo to come out. I'm excited for them to reveal how he didn't die. I'm excited to hear his exact plan on what he was doing there. Again, I feel like he wanted to see if Lycan would kill. Which Lycan did. Like, oh gosh, that was shocking. I was flabbergasted that Lycan actually... Because I'd heard he died. But then for Lycan to do it... Oh god. Also, another side note, Vivian is the cutest thing. She is so adorable. Oh my gosh. She is so cute. And when she realized we were facing, and she went full freak out, and oh my gosh, it's so cute. And her thinking we were a fan of Faith, and for half the time it was just so adorable. Every bit with her was the cutest thing ever. Anyway, Vivian's just adorable. I do love all the dynamics that we had in the quest. Hugo's dynamic with everyone was great. It was really hard to tell. I think he did want to go to top, and he was going to ditch Vivian with the proxy. One, because he wanted to make sure she had a better life than him, because he knew sticking with him was probably just going to corrupt the pure innocent little baby. So I think he did want to half betray her so she would, one, be skeptical of sketchy people like him, and two, go to stay with the proxy so she wouldn't be with someone like him. I think that was part of his plan. I wonder, I don't know. He definitely wants to, I do think he genuinely wanted to become part of Tops. I'm very interested to see if the next time we see him, he just is part of Tops. And then how Vivian's gonna react to him not being dead. Like, I think he's gonna want to be keeping that a secret from her. I'm interested to see how Lycan's gonna react. I'm interested to see more of how Lycan's gonna react, because it barely gave a reaction to him killing. But, like, that's gonna have an effect on him. He literally said, I ain't gonna kill, and then he had a whole fight with Hugo about it, which they never made up for him. I do love that random NPC Hugo goes to, like, da-da-da-da, and then he's talking to, and then he's like, by the way, have you made up with Hugo yet? And he's like, I don't want to know about, like, sorry, playing the wrong thing. By the way, have you made up with Lycan yet? You want to know what he's up to doing? And he's like, no, I don't. I'm totally, highly betrayed and backstabbed. I'm still very... I'm pretty sure Hugo really wants to talk. Also, what was at the end of Lycan's story quest? He was like, we shall meet again sometime soon, dear traitor. And I'm like, it very much sounds like he's avoiding him. Again, that's why I feel like it was part of his plan to run into Lycan. Also, when he's saying we can bring whoever we want, he specificizes Lycan, and I wonder if that was just because he has the report. We'd seen him interacting with Lycan. We knew Lycan had him and all that. Or if he specificized Lycan because he wanted Lycan to be there, and he was trying to make it seem like he didn't care, and that he didn't care too much about Lycan being there. And I am so interested in the dynamic and see where it goes. And, man, I'm so excited. Because, man, two of them running into each other when they were doing pre-mission preparations was so cute. I love that. We're like, it was like, he was like, are you stalking me? And Lycan's like, no, these are just the closest stores to everywhere where I need. I have a feeling Lycan may have been following him. Either that or it was just the closest store. I don't know. I love the bit where you could play as him though. That was awesome. Just running around as him. So excited to see how this thing works. I'm so excited to be able to play as him. I'm very curious to see if he's going to be at the first or second pack. But I'm hoping the first, but we'll see. We'll see. It's him or Vivian. I want both. They're both adorable, and they're both going to be on the team together, and Lycan's going to be on their team, because why would you not put Lycan on the team with Hugo? They clearly have a long-standing history. Because again, I personally think they met around when they were both 10-ish. I'm going to put them just at mentally the same age. They bonded, became... Jack literally says they're thick as thieves, which is adorable. Oh, they're so cute. I personally think they grew to have a more familial bond, which then Hugo broke. I also think it'd be very interesting if Hugo wanted to manipulate someone he thought, because he couldn't do that to Vivian, but someone he thought as family, as a sibling, to kill him like he did his little sister. I don't think he'd want to put that pressure onto Vivian, which he was putting it onto Vivian too, because he was threatening to proxy her idol. I think it'd be very interesting if he wanted to do that, because he still feels guilty for his sister's death. I think that'd be a really interesting angle. Gosh. I'm excited to see what happens more. So much stuff has happened. I'm excited to be able to do friendship events with, like, Hugo, and to do the quality time stuff. And I love how throughout the entire quest, like, it's like, do you know Hugo? Until it's confirmed that we know Hugo, because it's like, I smell a familiar scent. And we're like, yeah, it's a friend. And he's like, I see. He's got the whole class. Oh, gosh. And Hugo, Vivian almost slipping up and saying Hugo sent her and gave her the information and being like, my informant. Oh, that was adorable. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff I'm forgetting to talk about. So much happened in this quest. A whole ton of stuff happened. But, like, I think that's going to be all for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you liked the video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more stuff like this, please subscribe. I'm trying to think right now if there is anything that I would still want to say. Like, is there any big points? I talked about them. I personally had canon and my siblings. The only thing we have is how they think about each other is they call each other... They say they were partners in the past, companion, and the Lycan calls Hugo his dearest friend, at least at the time. Which is so sad. They were so close. And then Hugo went and murdered people. Lycan was against that. Now Lycan's killed someone! Anyway, I do think that's all I have for today. May God bless, and may you have a wonderful rest of your day.